A slightly different approach for this video. Usually when I find videos I read them first, but in this instance I will read this for the first time while commenting on this as I usually do. I want to do this so my response is fresh and pure, without too much thought being put into my take on the matter. The post is titled "My wife said she doesn't love me anymore and wanted to end the marriage. Found out she has had a 12+ month affair that started while she was pregnant with our second child." The man is 31 years old here, his wife is 28 years old. So from the offset here, we have the classic elements of surprise and horror from a blue-pilled man, it would seem. Before I get into the post, I imagine that this man was comfortable in his life. He had his family, his unit, his legacy, his beloved wife and beautiful children. I'm sure this has come out of the left field for him and is truly something he didn't expect. This is my first comment on the post. Relationships will never play out how you imagine in your head. You will never be able to predict somebody's behavior, whether you know them intimately or not. Always remember this, always remain on guard. The post begins. "We have been married for 8 years. As the title says, about 6 weeks ago, in early June, my wife told me she didn't love me anymore and didn't want to be married to me anymore. I was a bit blindsided, but we haven't been communicating well for a little while. She said I made her feel like I didn't love her anymore." End quote. This is something I commonly see and read in these threads. They weren't communicating well. Now, unless they are just ignoring each other, I always read this as the woman has decided she is done and is now not playing along, causing arguments out of nothing, being abusive and generally causing issues. I think men, when not communicating, tend to go within themselves. They stop looking after themselves, they lose interest in their hobbies, yet they continue on as they see it as their duty. The second thing I note here is her putting the blame on him already by saying he made her feel like he didn't love her anymore. Very manipulative and typical. The post continues. "My wife had been going out a fair bit more over the past year or so without me. I broke down and we had a small discussion about it, but didn't really approach the subject too much more than that." End quote. So she's beginning to look for a new man, she's exercising her hypergamy. He also is becoming weaker and more bitter, breaking down as he puts it. Him doing this is only going to make the situation worsen. The post continues. "About 2 weeks go by with us not talking too much and she says it again. That she's been doing a lot of thinking and she is pretty adamant. We have a 6-month son and a 3-year-old daughter. I told her that I'd give her some more time to think. I went and stayed with some friends for the working week. I'm still working full-time, and then have the kids on the weekend, and my wife would go to her parents' place or be with friends as she doesn't have a place of her own. We are renting." End quote. Before I read on, I want to highlight the red pill truth here. She has told him she is done, she is no longer interested in being married, she is no respects him. His reaction to this is to try to give her time, to try to talk to her about this and change her mind, to try and to essentially wait it out. This is a key thing that happens with couples. Not just with couples though, with most interactions with men and women. At some point women lose interest, men try and fix the situation, presuming that her lost interest can be reclaimed. It can't. It will not come back in the form it once existed. The compliments she paid him, the awe she had for him, the sex they had, the lust she had, it has all gone. She has moved on to her next mate. She doesn't belong to you, she isn't yours, it's your turn. The post continues. We had been doing this for a few weeks and having some positive discussions, but when I came to swap over with the kids on Friday, she told me she's been talking to another guy for a few weeks. She kissed him when they met up at an event during this past week that she took the kids to. Even before this point, I didn't hold too much hope of getting back together anyway, so started asking her questions about it all. She met him at the gym. They have only been talking on social media and she met him once more at a social function. I then said, "What else are you not telling me?" She said nothing else. Later on she asked me when I was going to join dating apps, as she just wanted me to be happy. She said that she didn't want me to go out with anyone that she knew. I told her if she was leaving me, she doesn't get a say in that anymore. She got really angry at that and said I shouldn't join anything straight away, give it time and talk to her when I join anything. I said again it's not her issue anymore and I'm going to do what I think is best for me. She got pretty mad and said that I was just going to have sex with anyone and everyone. I said no, I need time to heal. She said that she didn't believe me and that I would probably be on there tomorrow. She was quite upset by the conversation. I asked her why she was so worried about me talking to other girls. She's leaving me. I asked if there was something she wasn't telling me. She said no, but I kept pressing. Finally, she said that she's been cheating on me with a friend of ours since May 2019. This means that she would have been approximately 6 weeks pregnant with our son at that point. End quote. These still manage to shock me when I read them. The level of betrayal and lack of remorse still manages to awaken the retired blue pill man within me. At this point, the main message of this video has been shown that women are only temporary in your life. What is fascinating in this story is her attempt to control and manipulate her husband into dating in a way that doesn't upset her. This is perhaps a projection of her own infidelity and lack of self-control. Still, it is baffling and shows that if you are dating a girl, be prepared for her attempting to control you and manipulate you in ways you never imagined possible. The post continues. I have many feelings of shock, anger and sadness for me. She said she would cheat whenever she said she was going to the gym in the evenings, or when she said was with other girlfriends. She also said he would come over to our house and have sex in our marital bed, living room and couch. This was during the working day as he kept differing hours to us. He is sole trader. She said that they were doing it multiple times a week at some points. I feel destroyed. I broke all contact off with this friend, blocked him on all social media and never want to see or talk to him again. My wife says it was only physical, there was no emotional connection, but it's hard to not think there would have been after so long. I trusted her completely and have only begun to suspect something over the last few months. She'd been hiding her phone all the time and had been going out more ever since our son was born. We are officially done now, she cannot be trusted at all. She's a terrific mum, so I'm not worried too much about our kids and I think we will be able to get into a good co-parenting routine. We have been amicable so far and have started to split assets. It is difficult right now with her not having a place to live yet. She's waiting for government benefits as she's unemployed and a stay-at-home mother. I've had a few people say I should kick her out and take full custody until she can provide a place for them to live, but that would just hurt the kids. In some odd way, I have sort of forgiven her already. I still have a special place in my heart for her, the mother of my kids. I'm going to take the high road for now, let her sort herself out so we can be the best parents we can be. I can stay with my friends during the week for at least the foreseeable future. Kicking her out would just make the situation worse. She has already moved on and I've accepted that she's left our marriage. I will look for another place to live when the lease on this place runs out in another 6 months, taking this next little while to heal as well as look after my kids and myself. End of the post. Men, look at this man's story. Next time you are seeing a girl and she begins to stop texting back, or she disrespects you, or she lies, leave her. Your time is up. She is done. She has her next man lined up, or she is looking for the next one. Remember that it is public knowledge that women line up backup men when they are with their current partners. They do this so they have somebody when these relationships end. You are either the backup guy or the guy about to be left. Focus on yourself, focus on your independent life. Don't concern yourself with women in a serious way. If you find yourself in love, be careful and tread lightly. Thanks for listening.